being a financially secure and professionally built organization, for us the utmost importance is how we are able to deliver to our consumer. And I think that's where our professional experience comes into picture. We have done it in the past and we're trying to improvise it every single day. And that's where we build in those factors and plan accordingly.
Hello and welcome to the HT Brand Leadership Series, a series of one-on-one interactions with top brand and marketing leaders who share their industry insights and strategies that have helped shape their stories. Today, we are joined by Mr. Chandan Kar, partner and founding team member at NeoLiv, India's foremost fund-led residential development platform. With over 18 years of experience in shaping India's real estate landscape, Chandan has played a pivotal role in launching 43 residential projects, building 3 successful real estate brands, and execution excellence of over 59 million square foot. A results-oriented leader, Chandan brings deep enterprise and P&L management, business strategy, product development, sales processes, mergers and acquisitions, and real estate execution. He has held senior leadership roles at marquee organizations including Godrej Properties, MR India, and Country Garden. From positioning Godrej as a top developer in Gurgaon to spearheading MR India's turnaround story in the last few years, Chandan's career is a testament to strategic thinking backed by operational excellence. Welcome to the show, Chandan.
Thank you so much.
I want to start by asking you, how are you looking at the map of India now? Where's the next big growth happening?
Yeah, all over the country, I should say. Finally, as a country, we are a big one force now. Initially the metros dominated how people thought about India globally, but now, even the smaller cities have becoming major attractions. I think the full India story is on rocket, and the entire country is growing. So we want to be here in the space, and every corner presents an opportunity. So to answer your question, the entire geography of India is booming right now.
Amazing. That's good to hear. If you look at real estate as a sector, it's been a mixed bag in the past couple of years. But NeoLiv's business model is different from traditional real estate development. Can you throw some light on that?
Yeah. So when we thought about NeoLiv 2.5 years back, being from a background of development companies, reputed that too in India, we thought that we should bring something which solves a dual purpose. Real estate business is highly capital intensive, and consumers need their dream homes or dream assets on time. So what we did is that we brought one of India's foremost fund-led development company. We are an integrated fund cum development organization, which means we have our own fund business. And we also use our funds to develop our own projects. This gives us a very interesting concept of capital to customer. So we raise our capital, we use that capital to develop the projects, right. And now we develop townships and projects for end customers, and we hand it over to them. To top it all, we also have a business now which takes care of the post-possession facility management needs. So we are there in the full cycle,
right,
from capital to consumer.
So Chandan, how do you see the Indian housing market growing in the next 5 to 10 years? As per recent reports, the urban middle class has risen, and there is some indexation on premium residential. So is that insight correct, and is that understanding correct, where the market is growing in the premium segment?
Yeah, see, the market is growing overall in all directions. If you see some reports, we are poised to become a $1 trillion real estate, in fact, $1 trillion business by 2030. This cannot be possible, or will not be possible, through one category within the real estate, housing segment. All the categories within the housing segment needs to fire. We believe the time for premium housing is right now. But our urban middle class is growing. They're traveling global, they're reading a lot, they're studying a lot, they're working in large multinational corporations. And we believe that the urban middle class will drive, if we are reaching the $1 trillion business, then the urban middle class will drive this a lot.
Fair point. You spoke about the business being capital intensive. NeoLiv has raised around 80 million in the past 2.5 years. What are the factors you look at before you deploy these funds in the market today? Any specific areas of strategy that you have?
Yeah, so we have gone through with a strategy of doing low-rise or mid-rise developments. Our focus is on developing premium townships right now. We believe that townships will add a lot of value to the overall living experience, with large open spaces, gardens, sit-outs, walkways, and our focus all over the country today, with primary focus in the NCR and the MMR region, is towards developing townships presently.
Have you seen a change in consumer behavior in terms of the end buyer looking at housing as a way of life, as a quality of life, looking at how much more they can get when they purchase a home? Are they buying a house or are they buying a home? How do you analyze their behavior now?
Yeah. So, we can see the trends very clearly moving towards the thought of making life from the house. Okay. We are looking at trends with especially the urban middle class of wanting to have a life which balances between their professional and personal aspirations. The country is going through a very big change in terms of consumer behavior, and housing is playing a very important and pivotal role, I should say. People are loving to have large open houses, spaces to for the kids to play, for the pets to roam around. I think that is something which the present consumer is focusing on a lot. Even if they want to have apartments, the size of the apartments have increased, the amenities within the complexes have increased, and yes, the focus towards quality of living is taking position now.
How do you see ESG coming into this piece? I'm talking about it because when it comes to corporatization, ESG plays a big role, and especially in real estate, that is an important aspect. How are you integrating ESG principles in your residential projects, and do you see this becoming an business imperative now, rather than just being a compliance requirement?
Yeah, so as I said, the evolving urban middle class, they're traveling a lot. Okay, they're talking to a lot of people. Their exposure towards being environmentally cautious, socially responsible is very high. We being a very young founded organization, we believe in ESG to be one of our top priorities.
Right.
We have to be environmental conscious. We have to be socially stable, and governance is a very major factor for us. We believe that this is one space within our category where there's a lot of opportunity left, and we focus a lot on ESG. We have been extremely, we're going very fast on how ESG we want to incorporate in our business model, and both financially and non-financially, we are investing a lot in making ESG as our core principle of how we want to build NeoLiv.
I'm asking this because clearly it plays a large role in building the brand story also. The moment you're ESG compliant and you fulfill all of those criteria, you start attracting the right kind of buyers as well. And you've built brands in this space traditionally, which has been product-led or location-led. Now, how do you think of a brand in real estate? Any specific key ingredients you consider when you're crafting a brand from scratch in this sector specifically?
So what we firmly believe now is that traditionally, location and product was something which used to play a very important role in how a brand was being made and perceived. As we mature as an industry, I think the next brand story will be led by what kind of living am I getting? Okay, and that's where our focus is. If you see, our corporate name, is inspired by the concept of the new way of living. And we want to bring that new way of living through our ethos, our principles. And in addition to the product and location, we want to focus on how our consumers feel when they live in our delivered products, and that's where our differentiation would lie.
Coming to the Indian consumer, physical spaces have a certain bond. We create a bond with our physical spaces, and buying a home or buying an office space is an emotional experience. So how do you bring that into your storytelling now, into your brand storytelling?
Yeah, so see, eventually, any product which has such a high value attached to it would be a heavily emotional, journey. Okay. See, one promise that we started with when we formed NeoLiv is we wanted to bring back the joy of home ownership in India.
Right.
What does that mean to the consumer or to the brand is that home buying, it's a joyous as well as stressful. It's a very unique category where you feel moments of elated joy, and you also feel moments of high stress. We want to eliminate the stress out of it. We want to make the entire consumer experience extremely tech-oriented, alongside being people-oriented. We want to make it easy, simple. We want to make it more approachable. Right. And that's the motive through which we have formed NeoLiv. So it's simple. We want to bring back the joy of home ownership to everything that we do, our process, our products, our people. So everybody should live by this motto, and that's what we're trying to build.
I'll deep dive into consumer, because you spoke so much about how there is a ask on better quality of life. Looking at your experience across different markets, what are the key levers that consumers are looking into in residential real estate today? Because if a new buyer is coming, he or she is looking at the next 10-15 years spending time in that house. So what are the key levers that you're noticing?
See, definitely, as I said, the overall quality of life, not just the four walls. Yeah. Consumers are today looking at options which give them freedom to do a lot of creative work. Okay. Space, indoors or outdoors, should be able to inspire their creative thinking. Right. Professions are just not limited to closed rooms now. Yes. And the world is much more connected, through video calls, and it's open for everybody now.
Now, post-COVID, work from home is a new thing for everybody. In the sense, they all want to push for work from home.
Yeah, in fact, I think we are graduating towards work from anywhere now, and that's what I think the consumer is starting to look at. Right. So it's just not your four walls of your home, your people around you. Who are your neighbors? The like-mindedness there. Who do your kids play with? Who do your parents walk with? If you have guests at home, do you have extra space in your community area, club area, which can accommodate them without paying too much of charges by making them stay outside? So that's where I think we are focusing. That's where the consumer is also now inching. It's just not in the product or the location. It's the overall quality of living on which I think is paying the buck.
Understand. So it's basically getting more bang for your buck. And how do you align sales teams with brand promise and customer expectations, especially across large organizations? Because you'll need to balance that out, right? Because there's a promise and there's a sales pressure also at some point of time. So how are you balancing that?
Yes, a very interesting question, and this is a challenge, which keep on coming, every time you want to, give little more to either of them.
Right.
Okay. But what we do is that as an organization, we have taken a conscious call to be extremely transparent in what we want to do. Sure. All our sales managers or all our sales processes are built around the concept of being transparent. If we are not able to do something, we mention that upfront.
Fair enough.
If we are able to do something, we have mentioned that upfront as well.
Sure.
There's no need of any pressure, any rush. As long as we are true to what we are trying to do, I think the entire organization is aligned today towards this belief.
Clearly, you've talked about ESG, you've talked about transparency, you've talked about building an emotional connect. But then are there any specific innovations in sales or any specific tools that you've seen that move the needle in a project?
Yeah, see, each project needs a little bit of push and pull. What we have seen is that as long as we are able to, fulfill a large part of a consumer's, expectation in terms of his future, so outlook towards his home, how does he look himself to be positioned in this particular home, maybe after 5 years, maybe after 10 years. If we are able to fulfill that growth journey, then I think that that tool is solved for. We are not looking at something which is an immediate gratification, because those are short term. There's some catch in every such thing. But we are looking at a long term, product led, quality led, living, opportunity or option that we want to develop, and which I think the consumer of today and future would be much more connected to any fancy tool that is a short-term solution.
Understood. How do you see when you're looking at your marketing strategy? What is the magic sauce when it comes to a new residential project? Because there is a certain positioning that you'll drive from a media mix, but is there a magic sauce to a new launch, or you keep changing the formula basis the location or basis the new consumer behavior that you've picked up?
Okay. So every location or every geography, the consumer behavior changes with the cultural fabric of that region. If you talk about Mumbai, it has a different cultural fabric than something in Delhi or in Bangalore. We have to tailor make the value proposition. Sure. But the overall ethos remains same. We have to build it on the base of trust and transparency, because that's the typical human expectation. We don't want to shy away from that. We want to be right every time on that. And then each geography will bring in its own smaller nuances, which I feel is important for the launch of the project.
Is the new era of digital marketing changed in real estate, because it's so much leaning towards performance marketing now? How are you engaging with home buyers? Because at the end of the day, it is also an emotional decision. It can't be a very transactional conversation with home buyers. Are there any channels or tactics that you believe are more effective than the other?
Yeah, we believe, frankly, digital is the future. Today digital is being, as you rightly said, is being looked at from a more performance or a transactional lens. But I believe digital has a huge opportunity to build the brand. Print or newspapers did it all these years. Yes. They would continue to do it, but I think digital will definitely play a very big role. For us, we will be definitely doing digital first. Right. We are already building our brand on the digital platform, but we are doing it slowly and steadily. We have a long way to go, so that's why we want to build it in a way that consumer actually starts becoming a fan of the brand. That's what our intention is right now.
Do you believe that in the era of customer reviews, word of mouth still plays its large role, or you would rather be focusing on the reviews that are getting seen on people's feeds when it comes to talking about the whole purchase experience or after sales experience? Do you still feel word of mouth is important today when peers and cohorts discuss different projects?
Absolutely. See, both of them are important. But the word of mouth is something which gives consumers a lot of confidence. It's not unique to our category. It is something which is very typical of a consumer behavior. If you know someone who talks good about a certain service or a product, your confidence in that service or product to test it increases a lot. Then we frankly believe is that it's an individual's decision of how does he want to evaluate the product or the brand. But yes, I think word of mouth still carries a lot of weight. And of course, people who are digitally extremely influenced, for them the digital ratings also help a lot.
No, I ask this is because whatever exchanges I've had with other home buyers in my circle, I think one of the pertinent questions that they keep getting asked is, do you have any references? After they've completed or were on the near completion of a closed deal, but they would definitely ask them, do you have any references? Because I think that is very important for builders and developers to understand, who are the other people in this person circle who can probably be my potential buyers. So is that a constant in a script nowadays when the sales conversations are?
Yes, it's always good to make new connects.
Yes.
You never know, how does the connect, what does the connect turn up to? Yeah. But yes, I think it's a conscious effort, and it's good also because you also study the consumer behavior very closely.
Correct.
It's important for an industry or a category like ours to understand how the consumer behavior is changing or evolving, for us to make future ready products. So I think it's a good practice right now.
Does that mean that you would also be looking at content marketing in a different way, because suddenly you have influencers coming and talking about different asset classes, or comparing purchase versus rental and creating diverse content? So do you see that playing a pertinent component in your content strategy?
Yeah, see, frankly, what we feel is that all of us are influencers. We don't frankly need specialists. If you are helping a friend of yours take a decision on a very small thing, you're influencing it. So all of us together, are influencers.
True.
So we believe that as long as, we are good, we are transparent to our consumers, they will be, they will be talking good about us. And there is a small need of any specialized influencing opportunity here, because firmly we believe that all of us are influencers, and we do influence decisions every day in and out.
That's why I was asking you how important word of mouth is, because clearly it is the kind of review you give or the kind of discussion you have about a certain property purchase, because at the end of the day it is still an emotional decision, and there's a certain pride you take in owning a home in any part of India, especially Bombay or the metros. So I was coming from that aspect. Let me deep dive into a little bit about P&L and budgeting. When managing a P&L at a partner level, how do you communicate financial decisions or trade-offs to stakeholders? Is that a difficult conversation, or you just put all the cards on the table?
Yeah, see, we run the P&L on a business plan. The business plan is typically, a complete project overview of, how the costs look, how the revenues look. And, this is very transparently discussed and shared with all stakeholders on a very frequent basis. If there is a need of any kind of updation, that is also communicated with valid backups.
Right.
We can only run ours, as I said, is a long gestation category. It will go through multiple cycles of cost, progress, speed. So it all depends on every organization's need. But for us, being transparent to all stakeholders from day one is the most important thing. And that's where we present our case, we present our proposals very transparently to all stakeholders, and then take decisions forward.
Understood. So you're basically there with the customer for a very longish journey, because getting a house or building ready, it takes some amount of time. It takes 5 years at times, depending on the scale of the project. So what is your approach when it comes to budgeting a large scale project? Is it do you prioritize spends in a certain chronology, like it's around marketing, construction, design, and customer experience, or you keep changing it basis the nature of the project?
Yeah, so every project will be unique, but the typical 4 heads which you mentioned are more or less the same. See, every budget head would need focus during its time of execution. When you're launching a project, you're making the market warm, you tend to invest a little more in the marketing. Parallelly, our focus is a lot on execution. We intend to do a lot of extra focus on how we are executing, what quality of materials we are using, what should be the experience on handover and post handover. So for us, all the 3 are important. we're trying to, balance between all these three very important aspects, because eventually, our business is to, deliver a home, and this home is for someone to live the life in.
Have you seen any PR crisis, and which sometimes happens in real estate, because sometimes things go south when it comes to certain decisions certain developers take? How do you manage to keep that credibility and trust with consumers? I know it's still early days, but as you know, the environment, there have been stories and there have been instances. So how do you navigate those kind of conversations? Maybe on social media, maybe somebody had a bad experience with another infrastructure project. How do you look at that PR kind of conversations?
Yeah, so as I said, if we are transparent with our all stakeholders from day one, so we want to partner them, so one of our internal mottos is partnering for life, which means there would be good times, there would be tough times, yes. But if we are respectful, transparent, and trustworthy to both the sides, I think we'll sail through. But we firmly believe that our planning should be in a way that we avoid any such complications.
Right.
But in case there are, we should be well prepared and very transparently upfront communicated, because eventually we are making a house for the consumer, and they would love to be part of the process rather than being just.
Yeah, that's where the ESG angle also comes into play, when the governance aspect allows you to put those certain filters so that the right projects are served to the customer in the right way.
Absolutely.
You spoke about certain challenges. What's been one of your toughest decisions you've had to make as a leader, and what did you learn from it? Because that's the most important part.
I should not say toughest decisions, but one of very key decisions that that we had to take during the inception of our organization is to go towards a journey of transactional or non-transactional, and what we did is that, as I mentioned earlier about the motto of partnering for life, we eventually agreed to this to be our motto, and I think we've built the organization over the past 2.5 years with this motto, with all our stakeholders as of now and in future, and we want to live with this. So hopefully, yes, we should be able to live up to our motto, and I think that's where the consumer would differentiate us from others presently in the market.
And any learnings that you would like to share with our audiences from some of those experiences?
Being transparent and open about the entire situation upfront, being knowledgeable about all the conditions, and taking a decision, is something which is a big learning for us, and we want to abide by that, and that helps solve a lot of complications.
As you know that every sector is cyclical, and so is real estate. Things go up, things go down, so it can be volatile. How do you personally stay grounded and maintain clarity during these downturns or uncertainty at times? So any specific way in which, any specific approach you have?
Yeah, we plan it in advance. If you are able to make a great product, plan well and execute on time, you may not end up being part of this cycle. Being a financially secure and professionally built organization, for us the utmost importance is how we are able to deliver to our consumer, and I think that's where our professional experience comes into picture. We have done it in the past, and we're trying to improvise it every single day, and that's where we build in those factors and plan accordingly.
Chandan, I'm going to talk about dispelling a few myths around the real estate industry, like other industries compared to, say, FMCG or hospitality or the medical industry. There are certain baggages that come along when you look at the real estate industry. What is your wish, or what you would like people to stop believing about real estate as a category?
Yeah. There have been past incidents, which put a scar, in the minds of people. But what we firmly believe is that as long as we are building the next wave of real estate development by bringing financial discipline, by bringing utmost transparency, it's a great category to be in. Everyone loves a home, and if you are able to keep the love of home intact, I think consumers would be proud of the fact that we are evolving and we're learning on the way, and we're able to do a good job.
Chandan, I wanted to also ask you a question on behalf of our viewers. Many of them would be young marketers, probably aspiring to be real estate marketers. What would you like to share with them today in terms of what are the things they should keep in mind when they're starting off today?
See, it's a great category to be in. You're making someone's dream come true. Truly, a house or a real estate purchase is other than your investments. It's also a generational wealth that you're creating. What I would say is that we should keep it simple. Too much of use of jargon complicates things, and make it simple, make it aspirational, and be true to what you are wanting to communicate. It's a very simple category, but it's the most aspirational. So I think that's the opportunity that all of us in the category have. And that's where I would like to encourage people to join this category and help people build their dream homes.
Amazing. That was an absolute delight to hear from you on talking so candidly about real estate. Wish you much success, and you keep pushing the boundaries and keep fulfilling more dreams for Indian buyers.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. A great session, and I look forward to engaging in future.
Thank you, Chandan, for sharing your insights on how customer centricity and disciplined execution can redefine the real estate landscape. You have shown us that even in a sector as complex and capital heavy as real estate, it's possible to build brands, drive scale with purpose, and lead with both vision and financial clarity. That's a wrap on this episode of the HT Brand Leadership Series. Stay tuned with us as we continue exploring the ideas and individuals shaping India's brand and business story.